I'm about to hand it over to you, John, because I know you want to dive into you can have your little spiel on your Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll just say,
I'll be quick.
I didn't catch a lot of preseason football, but I did see the clip of Kenny Pickett's game-winning touchdown throw. Um, it was a and I texted John about it, and I said it was a very nice throw. Um, Under pressure, outside of the numbers, delivered it on a rope. Yeah, sorry, on a rope. Yeah, I was just impressed by that throw. So go ahead, John. Talk about your boys.
Bert, where's your towel,
Terrible
man?
towel.
This is the terrible towel.
This is gonna get kind of embarrassing. I'm not really waving this for preseason football, but let me tell you, yesterday the Steelers had a good day against the Seahawks when it came to their quarterback competition. Mitch Trubisky came in, was a super efficient, threw a touchdown pass in the first drive, came out of there. But let me tell you, man, as a Steeler fan, we always throw these towels around, but there's a level of pride that comes with it. And I just can't get Steelers Nation booing Mason Rudolph. He had embarrassing moments. He had bad moments in his de facto rookie year. And look, he's not a starting quarterback. He's at best an adequate backup. I get it. But the dude's a great teammate. He's a stand up guy, and he's trying to help the Steelers win football games. And because we want to see Kenny Pickett, we're excited for the first round pick from the city. We're going to boo Mason Rudolph before he even steps in the field. And the moment Mason Rudolph gets a crappy snap from his center, they're already hammering boos down the guy like it's Deshaun Watson. I'm just saying to myself, no, this isn't a serial sex offender. This right here is a young quarterback who's not very good, and he's trying to fight to stay in the NFL. And Steeler fans are just raining him with boos. I'm saying, guys, like he's trying to help us win football games and compete for this job. Mason Rudolph is probably not going to be on this roster, in my opinion, week one. I think if the Steelers can move him for a sixth or seventh round pick late day three, they probably will. Because in this last year's draft, along with Kenny Pickett, they took a guy on day three and Chris Olawadukin. And odds are it's a lot like the Joshua Dobbs pick. Mason's out of here. But Mason had a solid showing yesterday, hitting George Pickens up with a beautiful deep ball. He's a guy that can push the ball vertically and he looked solid. But Kenny Pickett, man, he came in second half and was quick, decisive, and just surgical. He was making simple plays. He was not really making many downfield passes, but he did a very good job escaping pressure, evading the pocket when necessary, and he showed he wasn't going to play hero ball the way he did in college. Didn't try to do anything too crazy. And look, for a rookie coming first NFL game, he looked as good as they could possibly do. 13 of 15, over 100 yards, 3 rushes for 19. But let me tell you, man, that game-winning drive, Tyler Vaughn's catches that pass, ice in his veins, takes to the house of the game winner. This Steelers offense, I'm telling you guys, is set up perfectly for Kenny Pickett to thrive. What we saw yesterday were design runs for Kenny to roll out, throw in the move, and just get into his comfort zone. Matt Canada last year couldn't really do that stuff with Ben Roethlisberger because, hey, look, while he led the NFL in game-winning drives, he was maybe the most limited QB in the entire NFL. But with Kenny Pickett, you have youth. You have a young quarterback that at 24 is NFL ready. I think there's a very good chance he'll be our full-time starter after a bye week. He can throw on the move, he has a good arm, he can make the simple play, and he has mobility that teams covet enough to extend the play. When the pocket breaks down the way it often did for Pitt, he can give you a chance every single week to come back in the fourth quarter and just lead his team. He's good under pressure, and he does have a little bit of that X factor. He's not a guy where the moment's too big for him. He's a leader, and he's a winner. And like I said before, there's so much depth on this wide receiver room, and in this entire offense. If Kenny Pickett starts this year, he will be the miniature Mac Jones of this season, kind of like a neutered version, where he's going to come in and he has a good chance of winning Rookie of the Year. Because you look at George Pickens, the dude has a catch radius and concentration on his plays where it's so uncanny from a rookie. It only reminds me of Antonio Brown. And I'm not saying he's on that level as a route runner or pure separator, but George Pickens has a chance to be one of the three best receivers in this class, and maybe even the best. And the only reason to me why he wasn't a first round pick was just because of character concerns, and number two, a torn ACL in the sophomore season. Now you add that with Deontay Johnson, who to me is A, the best number 2 receiver in the NFL, or B, a legitimate number 1 receiver, and Chase Claypool, who has some of the most impressive physical tools. Pat Freiermuth, we may or may not touch on a little bit, a touchdown machine. And Najee Harris, this Steelers offense is trending in the perfect direction, and Kenny Pickett is just the last piece that can put us over the top. And yesterday was just backing up my belief in the way the Steelers would use him and maximizing his skill set.
What was your take on Mitchell Trubisky yesterday?
He was quick. He looked a lot more confident and sure. And like in Chicago, people blame a lot on Matt Nagy, but frankly, Mitch wasn't quick enough reading defenses, and he seemed to pick it up a little bit better against the Seahawks in the first drive. Now, I didn't learn anything new. I think he's improved after his 1 year learning it behind Josh Allen, gained some mental reps in Buffalo. Mitch will be the day one starter, but I think by week 4 to week 9, he will be holding the clipboard.
What has to happen for Mitchell Trubisky to lose his job? Because I feel like he's serviceable enough to hold down the fort.
Yeah, I think he's a top 25 quarterback. I think he's above. Yeah, I think he's replacement level.
Mhm.
And I think for the Steelers, they have a tougher schedule this season. So by our bye week, especially if we lose to the Jets week 4 at home, that's a must-win game. I think that's the turning point in our season. If we don't win that against Zach Wilson, there's a good chance it's because Mitch did not play well enough. When you have a top 10 coach and a top-tier defense, you're going to be in every single football game. And the Steelers this year, when I called them a playoff lock, it was at large because they can win close. And so long as it's not a gunfight where we're just going toe to toe vertically, the Steelers can beat any team. Kansas City, we saw last year, they don't stand a chance off them. Buffalo, we actually did beat them. For Mitch Trubisky, the way he gets benched is if against those top tier teams, we are just woefully unequipped to throw down the field because he does not have the strongest arm of these 3 quarterbacks. It's to me Kenny and then Mason. So to answer your question, if he's getting thoroughly outplayed by more talented guys, from week 4 to week 9, like I said, that's when we're going to see a quarterback change, and it won't be for Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, you guys definitely do have a tough schedule to start. I'm looking at it right now. Week 1 against the Bengals, week 2 against New England, week 3 against Cleveland, week 4 against the Jets. Then you got the Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Eagles, Saints. That's no pun intended, but no easy pickings for you guys over there.
Especially for offensive line. Yesterday, Chuck Secor for a sick pancake block when some defensive end tried to come too high and he just took the guy and shoved him to the ground. And Pickens, he had a pancake too. He's an insane blocker. He took this quarterback and shoved him to the ground. Get off of me. It was awesome. There, like I said before, there is a little bit more physicality there with the blocking with Pickens that I just love. He just represents AFC North football through and through. And Chase Claypool, as well as another big receiver that can block. So yeah, I mean, if Kenny Pickett comes in week 5 and has to go up against Josh Allen, then Tom Brady, followed by 2 legitimate playoff teams in Miami, Philadelphia, and the Saints, then the Bengals, then the Colts, maybe we won't see Kenny Pickett until week 13 when that schedule eases up against the Falcons. I mean, that is as tough as it gets.
Yeah, I'll just say quickly. I think I agree with John. I think Trubisky. I see Kenny Pickett getting becoming the starting quarterback by mid season. Definitely by the bye week. Their bye week is week 9. Yeah, I could see Pickett being the starting quarterback after week 9.
What do you guys think Kenny Pickett is relative to Mac Jones as Patriot fans?
Well, okay. Mac Jones walked in and he had the greatest coach of all time. Now, Mike Tomlin is definitely a fantastic coach. So I wouldn't say he's going to have a Mac Jones type rookie season, but huh, I guess that's something you caught me off guard with. I gotta put some more thought into that.
Because the pick reminds me so much of Mac Jones last year. You know, he doesn't
Mm,
have, let's be honest, if he were this top tier quarterback, there's a very good chance he would have been taken in the top 10 or some team would trade
yeah.
up for him. His ceiling is limited to a certain degree. I don't think he's ever going to be a top 5 quarterback. But you're saying to yourself, if we can push all the chips in and go all on this guy and surround him, maybe he can reach that top 10 season
Mm.
level. So to me, that's what he reminds me of a little bit. Mac Jones and a little bit Baker Mayfield, actually.
At the end of the day, I see this as a guy very easy to root for. A Pittsburgh dude. I think the Pittsburgh faithful is gonna love him a ton, and I think he's just gonna thrive in the environment because he's there. He's been there, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what your Steelers have to offer this year with him under center.
Pickett the
Mitch,
Pickens?
huh?
Pickett the Pickens, baby.
But yeah,
Pick Pick.
I'm with you, man. I want to see Kenny take the starting job. It will happen eventually. Mitch is Mitch. I don't think we're going to see nothing different there. So Mitch will start the season. Kenny will take over towards the end. And I think Pittsburgh Steelers fans are going to have a lot to be optimistic about going into the next season.
I'll probably be buying his jersey too.
I could see that.
Yeah. 7-8, baby. You know the deal. Keeping it real.